Shout out to Boxing Gossip. I watched his video on this. Tyson Fury and David Price have been having some back and forth banter on Twitter. Tyson Fury is entertaining the possibility of taking on Price for his comeback fight. David Price seems open to it. My take on it, and Tyson Fury obviously did a poll where he got his Twitter followers to vote on who they think he should fight. Some of the guys were David Price, obviously, Shannon Briggs, I think Ustinov, Povetkin, a few others. The two front runners in terms of the votes that they were getting were Shannon Briggs and David Price. And I think he should fight one of those two for his comeback fight. And the reason I say that is because Tyson Fury's comeback fight will be to get the ring rust off. And also, let's be real here, what Tyson Fury's comeback is ultimately about is him fighting Anthony Joshua or one of the other heavyweight champions. That's ultimately what his comeback is about. If there was no other big heavyweight champions out there, nobody who was really making waves and people were not really interested in the heavyweight division, there wouldn't be so many people interested in Tyson Fury's comeback. People are so interested because the heavyweight division is on fire right now in terms of its popularity. So Fury's comeback fights will be build-up fights towards a Joshua fight. So it's about putting him in fights which get the public interested. Now, the unique thing about opponents like David Price and Shannon Briggs is, in my view, they're very beatable, even in Tyson Fury's comeback fight. But they also have, certainly in the UK, a pretty high market value with the public. The public in the UK know about Shannon Briggs. They like his boisterous nature and braggadocious ways, his "Let's Go Champ" slogan. They like all that. David Price, they know him. They know that he's got history with Tyson Fury. Their rivalry goes back to the amateur days. So there are not going to be many fights out there which are as winnable as a David Price and a Shannon Briggs that also bring him so much attention. That will work so well as build-up fights in terms of the marketing, the build-up fights to an Anthony Joshua or a Deontay Wilder, etc. So I think, yeah, go with a Shannon Briggs or a David Price. Why not? You know, you can't expect a guy to come back from 2-3 year layoff when he's been terribly out of shape and take on an Alexander Povetkin. I don't think that's reasonable. But to take on a David Price or a Shannon Briggs, yeah, because he's got the beating of both of those guys, even though he's been out of the ring for such a long time. I'm not saying Briggs and Price have got no chance. They're both very big punchers. But you'd still imagine that Tyson Fury would have enough to deal with an old man in Shannon Briggs, who hasn't fought anyone with a pulse in many years, and David Price, who's coming off a fairly long layoff himself and who's had losses, multiple losses in his career. So let me know what you think of this in the comment section below. Would you be mad at a Tyson Fury versus David Price fight for Fury's first comeback? I personally wouldn't. I mean, look, I am a fan of David Price anyway. I like watching David Price fight. You know, sue me, man. For better or for worse, I like watching David Price fight. He always provides me with entertainment, whether he wins or loses. So I don't mind seeing David Price in there against anybody, especially when it's a competitive fight. I want to see. I love seeing David Price in there in the ring. So yeah, Tyson Fury Price. Let's get it on. Let's do it. I'm happy for that fight to take place. Maybe you guys think it's garbage. Maybe you guys think Tyson Fury should fight somebody else. If that's the case, who do you think it should be? Why is it reasonable? If there are some of you out there who think Fury is supposed to come back against Povetkin or someone dangerous like that, why do you think that's reasonable when a guy's been out the ring for so long? Let me know how you feel, people. It's happening. I'm out.